Good morning, late morning. Today's Monday, October 11. Looking back, I see that it's been a month since our last video. There's a really good reason for that. Actually, there's a multitude of good reasons for that. We've had a lot of rain the last 24 hours. And I'm just gonna walk back here just for a moment and you'll see, and we'll explain everything as we go along here, but one of the reasons, but just one of the reasons why we're very much delayed. So as you come back to our little memorial, you'll see Buffy's name. We lost Buff. And we'll get into the specifics here in just a moment. So stay with us. Moving back inside. One of the last things we were discussing in our video was what to name Matilda, little chick that we rescued, the egg that we rescued. And these are 4 of our birds that we hatched, and Matilda's chick is right there. And we went with the name Lilly. And she's healthy. And the 4 birds that we have here in the inside pen are healthy. Look at the distinct colors on, we call this one Hootie because it looks like a little owl. Look at those colors. That's a henny penny chick right there. So there's Lilly and her little flock mates. Healthy and thriving. So thank you for helping us name her. We still think that's a really kind of a miracle, really, that we rescued the egg from Matilda and then we got this sweet little life out of it. Well, there's Ginger. Hi, Ginger. Did you think I had a snack? Ginger is front and center. There's Patrick. A shot of a few of our other birds. The fact that we still have a flock is a miracle. In the previous segment you saw that we lost Buff, and it's been a month since one of our last videos, and of course, aside from naming the chick, we were describing that Mr. Hey was going to need bumblefoot surgery, but he was sounding a little coarse in his respiratory effort. Well, that spread to the rest of the flock and quite severely, and Buffy succumbed to the illness, and we almost lost Rose, Dixie, Marianne, and Clementine. Some of the birds got sicker than others and some didn't, but thank God for Dr. Ashley, who is not a poultry expert but was willing to see some of our very sickest birds and send us home with multiple doses of antibiotics and oral antibiotics and some anti-inflammatories. And in fact, we had to send Patrick and Hey for a second bumblefoot surgery during this time too. And we have worked tirelessly, and I mean tirelessly, to save our flock. Buffy died in my arms quietly and safely. She was not alone. It's heartbreaking, but at the same time, her death was not in vain, I guess you could say. It seems a little cliche. And I'll show you an example of how Dixie's respirations were. We almost lost her too. I didn't take a lot of time to video the respiratory effort because it's just too heart-wrenching to watch in a lot of cases. But thank God for Dr. Ashley, who worked alongside us. And one of the things, so the coop got a makeover, and because of the fact that Buffy passed, the veterinarian was able to look at her lungs and determine that it was like a mold related issue, which really devastated us because we felt like we really let our birds down. So what do we do about mold? Well, we had to completely and utterly clean the whole coop. Okay, we had to clean it completely out, spray it down. Basically, we used vinegar and water and sprayed it, and we gave it a little bit of a makeover too along the way. So I guess, like I was saying, it's a little cliche, but Buff's life wasn't in vain. We were able to get to the heart of the matter. And had we not known what we were dealing with, there's not really a cure for mold-related issues, but there's secondary infections and things that really happen in the birds. So the antibiotics we've still found were extraordinarily helpful. And the veterinarian just didn't charge us next to anything to treat our birds and sent us home, like I said, with extra doses of antibiotics and things like that. And it really leads me to my next point. I think of the old John Denver song. There's our two Brits and Queenie. Think of the old John Denver song. Life on the farm's kind of laid back. Yeah, there is no laid back on the farm, kids. You have to be instant in season and out of season. One of the other things you might notice here in the coop, in addition to the curtains and things that Mrs. Foulplay hung, is the windows are, we've opened up some of these old windows that were boarded up and got some better airflow through here. So in the pen next to the main coop here is we still have our 6 farm birds that we got. And they're teenagers now, and they're thriving and healthy. But we have had to basically employ biosecurity measures out here on the farm. We cannot let any cross-contamination happen between the 2 pens and the birds that were out here, or the birds that we hatched. Or our meat birds too, because guess who arrived during the time when all this was happening? Our meat birds arrived too. I might as well show them to you. So we have 17 meat birds that we'd already previously arranged to get, and we've had to keep them healthy and secure. And we had them in the garage pen for a while, but it was just getting way too crowded to have 21 birds out there. So our meat birds arrived. So while we were cleaning out the main coop, this goes back to my point about being on the farm and being instant in season, out of season. I had to construct an emergency pen to put our main flock in while things in the main coop dried out. And we got things clean and secure to move the flock back in. We still have some sneezes. Clementine's still sneezing some. We are not out of the woods yet. In fact, I heard a little sneeze back here. Somebody sneezed. But for the most part, the flock has turned the corner. And so not long after the meat birds arrived, and we are dealing with the flock illness with regards to the respiratory illness and saying goodbye to Buffy. Mrs. Foulplay and I, it started with me, ended up getting a certain virus, starts with C, as I usually like to refer to as COVID. So in addition to everything else that we've been doing to try to save our flock and work so hard on the farm and build structures and Oh, by the way, we call that the Motel 6. It looked like a Motel 6, but that's what we'll call it. So we've been trying to recover from that virus. Additionally, we've prearranged to have a livestock guardian dog brought to our home to be a part of our family. Because of the fact that we've had a dog attack recently, we felt like we needed a farm dog. There's our 3 younger hens, our Gilligan's Island crew. Ginger, Marianne, and Lilly. And there's Rose. So we've arranged to have a farm dog, a Great Pyrenees, come live with us, and she's 12 weeks old right now. She'll be about 13 or 14 weeks when we get her. So we've also had to clear all this property out from behind the coop and get a pen ready and some type of makeshift doghouse ready. And so that's what we've been doing this last month. We have been working day and night, night and day, with the exception of the fact that we were trying to recover from this virus. We didn't have any significant respiratory issues, but the fatigue factor with regards to this virus was profound. Let me just say, it was profound. We also sent Hey and Patrick back for a second bumblefoot surgery. They both come limping from underneath the mobile home a couple weeks ago, and they needed repeat surgery, so we had to work with them to keep their feet soaked in Epsom salts and bandages and things like that. So we've had to work with them still. So I'm going to tell you that I'd almost trade a tick-borne illness for what we've been doing this last month. We also have some Premier One fencing, by the way. I don't have any sponsors, but we've got some Premier One fencing that we are trying to get in place. Some of it blew down overnight because of the storms, and the ground was so hard we couldn't get it in the ground anyway. And that's what part of the reasons why we had to clear out the pen and get some Premier One fencing, also to protect the flock while we're not home. So this is already pushing 10 minutes, so I'm going to stop here. Thanks for watching, folks. Thanks for supporting us, and a lot of people text us privately over the last couple weeks, want to know how we're doing. We're about 90 to 100% now, but now we're playing catch-up mode. So not only it was paper, rock, scissors who was going to go out and take care of the flock when we were both so sick, but we're recovering and we're fine. And we thank you for following along with us in this farm adventure. I don't want it to ever look like we're complaining, because this is the lifestyle that we have chosen. There's good, there's bad. There's times where we have to say goodbye to our friends. Buffy was a really, really sweet hen. And she lays here with Sophie and Matilda. We miss her a lot. Thanks for what you did, Buff. Save a flock. So this is Dan for Foul Play.